way, I still have this missing tooth. So when I say my S's, I sound like Sylvester the cat. Pardon me. So in 2008, the hit the fan. At that point, my phone wasn't ringing. Like everybody else, everybody was desperate for work. Everybody was doing everything they could to make a dollar, to make ends meet, 2, 3 jobs, whatever the case. Going forward from that date, what I learned was there's a lot of people out there doing things they shouldn't be doing. I was doing a couple other things, you know, I'm multi-skilled. If you ever saw my intro on my main channel part, you'll know that I have a lot of skills going back to the mid-80s. And I kind of integrated those skills into something where I could kind of make a little bit of a living back in 2008. But then what happened was my phone started ringing a lot. And so I was doing little plumbing jobs on the side, and I was doing hanging ceiling fans and everything I could to try and make a living in 2009 going into 2010. And finally by, I'm going to say late 2009, early 2010, I decided what I needed to do proactively to kind of CYA myself is kind of get into something that is different from what I've experienced before. So what I made a conscious decision to get into home inspecting, because I had a pretty good grasp of how houses were built and all the different little facets of things, like electrical and plumbing, all that different stuff. And it made it viable for me to be a home inspector. In the state of Georgia, there are no requirements. And because there's no requirements, there was a lot of people in my home inspection course that I took. There was a lot of people sucking wind at that time. And so what ended up happening is you had people in the real estate industry that had done nothing else before except for real estate, whatever facets they were in, ended up in my class. But in the state of Georgia, as I already said, there are no requirements to be a home inspector. So what that means is that your mother, your father, your grandmother could get business cards made up, you know, Joe Blow Home Inspector. And with those cards, you could go out and market yourself and say, yes, I am a home inspector. When I went through the course, because that course was sanctified by a larger agency, and they have a little logo. And what would happen is that you could challenge their national test. And if you actually pass their national test, they would certify you and you could actually use their logo on your card. That was the only way you could really ascertain if a home inspector was good or not. Going from 2009 into 10 and late 2010, my phone started ringing. I was trying to get back into the tiling, and it got back into me by virtue of Kathy, who had hired me in 2010. She had hired me to do a job that a whole crew from a company, I think there's 3 of them, managed to ruin her bathroom and cause her a lot of aggravation, cause her to spend a lot of money. It's 6 weeks, I think it was 6 weeks, that 3 different crews went in there from this company. And then when I was finally called, the job was 90% done and non-functional, and it would have never been functional at that point. And I'll post that video. It was the first one that I posted. I'll post it on a card. I don't know if the card's going to appear right there or if it's going to appear on the other side, but I'll post that card there so you can see. That was my impetus for being on YouTube, because I asked Kathy, I said, this is such a horrific job. I don't want people to go through this, you know, no matter where they're at watching my YouTube video. So if I can post this video and help out somebody else and kind of point out all these things before they get in that conundrum that Kathy was in, then, you know, I felt better about at least putting something out there, information out there. And it kind of snowballed from there, because after I posted that video, then I get the next call where this guy had built a shower with no pan liner. And that video is also on my channel, pretty close to the one that I mentioned. And it kind of perpetuated. I kept getting these jobs that were done horribly wrong. That was in 2000, going into 2011, but I had already taken that course. I'd already taken the home inspection course at that point, and I don't remember the cost. I think it was probably $300 or $400 to take the course. And so, if you're really good at your home inspecting and you're able to kind of market yourself, put yourself out there, especially nowadays with the web, because hello, that was like, you know, 10 years ago, and it's more prolific now. Doing the marketing is a little bit easier, even to the point of putting videos and having a home inspection channel, for example, so people will know what they know. But it seemed like a viable option because if I got in with the right real estate company, the right real estate agents, plural, I could keep myself busy doing at least an inspection a day, hopefully through 5 days. And a typical inspection, it really depends on the square footage and a lot of other details. But a typical home inspection is going to cost anywhere from $300 to $800. And so then going forward, and during the course, I'm thinking ahead and I'm getting all these tools together that the instructor was talking about. And I said, okay, I'm going to put together like a Felix the Cat bag. I'm going to have all brand new tools, not the ones I have in my truck, but all brand new tools so that when I show up at a customer's house, I'm ready to go. So I never even used it. I never even used the Felix the Cat bag that I bought. And so on this video, it's kind of funny. I was doing a little late spring cleaning, summer cleaning, and I just happened to stumble upon my bag. That was actually, I think it was in the attic. And there's a couple of other items that I would add to that. As I go through these items that I'm going to show you, I have flown a couple of drones for the last couple of years, and that would be an added feature of being a home inspector, is that I could actually fly, go look at gutters, go look at roofs, no matter how tall it is and all that stuff. And so, yeah, and siding and all kinds of stuff. So a drone would definitely be added to this little repertoire of different tools and stuff like that. So I'm sorry I talk so loud. That I talk a lot. Sorry I talk so much. So I'm going to show you my Felix the Cat bag and a couple other things that I kind of added to it that nobody had really spoken of at the time, but I decided to take it upon myself and get those things. So this is my Felix the Cat bag. I call it that because I remember, I know I'm dating myself. It's a Husky bag, bought it at Home Depot, I believe. And this is how I outfitted it. I wasn't even done outfitting it because I knew there was a lot of other things that I could add to the mix, but it has, as you can see, these side pockets, very large pockets here, double pockets over here with little areas. It has 3 pockets over on the side, which I don't think I put anything in there. You know, the funny thing is, from 2010, it's 2019 now, so 9 years later, I have not even looked at this. Yeah, there's 3 pockets on the other side as well. There's a couple little items in there that I'm going to get to. So anyway, this is basically what it is. It's a very large bag. Oh, by the way, look at this. This is so cool. If you ever go to the airport, this thing extends so far up. Let me see if I can show it. It extends so far up, like you could literally just carry this around, and it's got rollers on it, obviously. And I love that feature about it. So, enough of that. It's a very durable bag, and I do like it. And I will put it to good use to one. One day I will put it to good use. And I might even carry it as a carry-on bag. I don't know. But, you know, even still, I could still end up being a home inspector. I don't know at this point. And it opens up like that. Very nice. And it's like a hinge type system. But anyway, so I'm going to go through this outside part because I want to go through all these little parts. As I said before, I didn't want to use any used stuff, so brand new tape measure, 25 foot long, as opposed to all my other work measures, which they're all metal and they all rust after a while, so I didn't like that. Oh, it's got a little another pocket on the inside here too. Same as this one does. And so on this side I have a rusted, why did I do that? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. This is a rusted keyhole saw for sheetrock and stuff like that, and I'm sure I would have replaced that, knowing me, with a new one. I have a very thick Sharpie, a very thick Sharpie for whatever reason. I just felt I needed one. Make markings and stuff like that. What is that? Oh, this is kind of weird. I had this laying around, I'm sure from my Army days, and I decided to throw that in there. It's a compass, and it's a very difficult compass to explain. But this flips up like that, and it has little hair, has a little, I don't know if you can see it there, but it has, yeah, And then you line that up with this open slot over here, and you kind of look at it from that direction. But it is truly a compass. And so for whatever reason, I decided to put in there a compass. That's in there. And in here, what do I have? Oh, I have my instructions for my moisture meter. Spoiler alert. I have a CD. It's not music. So what this is an inspect value residential. So what this is inside of here is a CD that they gave us at the end of the course. And you can actually print out your own, you can kind of customize your own little inspection forms with this CD. And I believe this is the instructor's CD, that he had the same thing on there, that he has his own form on there, and you can kind of manipulate and do your own form, or I'm not really sure, I never even put it in the computer. But that's what these are. And so that's very valuable of it in itself. There's another instruction booklet, an infrared thermometer, a sonic distance measure, and a laser pointer all in one. Spoiler alert. So I did keep the instructions. Extra battery, which is probably no good. Everybody knows what that is. That's to check your continuity and stuff like that. It's a tester, so you just plug it into outlets and you can find out. It'll actually tell you what's wrong with the outlet, or tell you there's nothing wrong. So there is that. I think a couple of business cards of people that I ran into. Real estate salesperson. See, I told you, this guy is an appraiser. There was quite a few appraisers in my class, because appraisers were kind of sucking wind there too. So that's that. This is a very, very long screwdriver, which our instructor reanimated over and over and over to get one of these, because when you go into the dirt, you want to be able to, So there's that. And fortunately for me, this bag is so cool. Fortunately for me, it just had to have a couple of little slots on here that I just attached that long screwdriver to. So inside of here, if you can see, it's quite large. It's a lot. It holds a lot of stuff. I'm going to see if I can bring my camera. See if I can face it down a little better, so you get a better look at what's going on here. I'll probably just kind of go through these real quick. So I have a level, and that's important to have. Brand new level that hasn't been used yet and banged around and all that stuff. See all these little pockets? Isn't that so cool? So I have a 4-in-1 screwdriver, and I have a magnet. And the magnet works because it was attached to the 4-in-1. And there's a reason to have a magnet, and I'm not going to go into explanations for all of this stuff. This is a mirror, a large one, not one of those little circular ones that you got at Home Depot or whatever, but this is very, very, very good. It's a telescoping mirror, and so this is very good to be able to look at stuff that you cannot see otherwise. What else do I have in here? What is this? Klein Tools. This is a voltage tester. Okay. And I'm sure the battery is no good years later like this, but this is a voltage tester, and so this has a prong on the end of it, and I would have to read the instructions to find out exactly how that works. I have I have a mask that has a filter, and I know I saw the filter earlier, but the instruction sheet, and it's a mask. It's not the best mask in the world, but it's a lot better than not having this filter here. Because when you get up in the attic and stuff like that, you don't want to be breathing all that nasty stuff, or in the crawl space for that matter. Speaking of crawl space, so I have a couple of flashlights here, and these flashlights are very, very bright, obviously, and this is a smaller version, but what I like about these is that they're, let me see if I can point it, so they're wide range flashlights. I really love that, and this one is very carryable in a pocket. This one, not so much. This is a large, very large flashlight. This is Police Security, is the name brand of it. It does the same thing, if you can see that. And then as you move it, as you turn the handle, no, how does that work? Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so it does the same thing. It has a wide range on it, if I can see. But anyway, yeah. So flashlights are very, very important and very, very bright. And probably another thing I would have added to that mix with these flashlights is one of those headlamps that you can get at Home Depot, because those are so convenient, and I use them in my normal work all the time. So there's that. I'm going to put those aside. There's my little clipboard, which has AT&T logo. I don't know why I have this clipboard. I think I just threw it in there because it was around. I have my DSLR, my D5100 Nikon instruction book. I don't know why I have that in there. I think maybe because I was going to take pictures at one point. Another Nikon thing, another Nikon thing. Separators for the bag. This is another Nikon thing. These are my notes, which I didn't take a whole lot of. In fact, I think I only had 3 pages of notes that I took during the course. This is the complete book of home inspection, and that was part of the course, and we went through, and obviously there's a lot of valuable information in here. Oh, there's Bob Doyle. See, I even I kept my name tag, my tag that went on the desk. So yeah, this is a lot of valuable information. It's a guide for people that don't know anything about building construction. So yeah, I got the mask. I have a charger. I wonder what this charger is for. Digging deeper with this paperwork. What do I have? Home inspection report. Oh, yeah, so he gave us a home inspection report that he had actually done. And it kind of shows all the, I mean, it's obviously blank, but it kind of shows all this stuff on here. Another thing too is he talked about having a laptop. I've seen home inspectors even back then that had laptops and a printer in their vehicle that had a 12-volt connection, and that they could actually print a report right there on the premises. Like you go outside and, you know, an hour later after you put it all together and filled it in on your laptop, you just kind of printed it out, attached the pictures to it and all that stuff. I don't know that I ever wanted to get that serious about it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Brand new set of gloves, which is always difficult for me because all my gloves are messed up. So I put a brand new set of gloves in there. That was, oh, this is a cheat sheet. And so this tells you about roofs. Roof area estimating tool. I don't know why we were given this. I don't remember now. But yeah. Then here's a spoiler alert I was telling you about that. Yeah, so this is a moisture meter, which is kind of odd because I already have one. It's not quite as nice. Ooh, the battery still works. It's not quite as nice as this one, but yeah, it's definitely audible. It's by Ryobi, and it's audible, and it's showing 40% in here. Just marking. Look at that. Watch. Put my hand on there. Oh, it's showing from the bottom. 100%. I would hope so. So the ambient moisture, I don't know if that's 42%, if that's humidity or what it is. But anyway, that's very cool. I like that. I probably spent quite a bit of money on that, only to have it go to waste. And then this is the 3-in-1. This is a measure. This is, I don't even know if it works. Hold on a second. No, it doesn't work. No battery, or maybe I got the wrong switch. Anyway, I gotta read the directions. But this is a measure and temperature. What were the 3 things? I forgot what they were, but that's what that is. And I, again, Ryobi. It's a 3-in-1. Home inspection in particular will never go away. People are always going to need a home inspector. So if you're looking to make a career change, what I would look into is home inspection. As I said, Georgia is a very lax state as far as any type of, I don't know, when I say certification, you know, shows to your customer that somebody has overseen my knowledge and my ability to do the job that I'm here to do. Somebody has overseen that. So that National Association patch, I'm sure they give you a patch, and on your card, the logo on your card, kind of makes people feel at ease, I guess. But again, it's due diligence. I know there's places like, you know, New York and California and places like that that are fixated on rules and regulations, and you must do things this way and that way and da-da-da. And they probably would never let me get away with inspecting a house because it's a pretty major thing. it's a pretty major endeavor to get into without some type of state certification. Sometimes it's just about money being certified, and sometimes it's about real knowledge. Either which way, that's what I would suggest. If you want to get into a different career, home inspecting is relatively easy. And oh, one other thing before I forget, I already mentioned the drone. So what I did just prior to me signing up for the course, I went on the internet and I ordered this thing sight unseen. And unfortunately, I never really used it. I played with it a couple of times. I never really used it, and the last time I tried to use it, it doesn't work. And it's probably my bad. I think I spent $150, $150? God, I don't remember. It was somewhere in that range. Maybe it was $100, but I spent $100 on this guy. And so what this is a telescoping camera, which I thought was really cool, and it would kind of put a feather in my cap. It would set me aside from another home inspector. So this is, you put the lens, this is a 4-inch screen here, and this slides right on top of there, and I'm not going to put it together, but it slides on top of there, and it gives you a visual by virtue of this telescoping lens. And if you see the very, very tip of that lens, it has a flashlight. It has, well, it's lighted anyway. It has a light on it, and I think this rolls out to 3 feet if I'm not mistaken. So it clips on to the end of here, and then this is probably the size of a pencil. So all you would need to do if you were to inspect inside of a wall or inside of a roof or a ceiling or whatever, all you would need to do is make that size of a hole, put that in there, and you can kind of run this, because it's flexible, you can run this. It comes with a charger, it comes with a USB cable, it comes with an RCA jack of some sort. As you can tell, brand new basically. I've never used it, but it does not work anymore. I forget what that is, but it's got to do with it. Anyway, the point being is that it has a mini SD card. So you can put any size SD card you want inside of there. You can take pictures and video on this and then transfer that SD card to your computer and put it on a disk or put it on another card or whatever and hand that over as well. This is what I saw inside of your ceiling. You know, I saw that there was good insulation, or there was this going on or that going on, or your toilet's leaking from the bottom, or whatever the case is, or your shower. You know, like that would be a great thing for a tile guy to have to when they go in and they can't really see what's up underneath, is just to be able to stick that in there, turn the light on, and kind of look around. Behind a wall as well. If you have a leak behind a wall, behind a shower valve, then you don't have to be as invasive as some plumbers are, where they cut out a big hole and all that stuff. All you need is a pencil size. Anyway, I'm going to put this back because it's not really relevant, but I thought I'd throw it out there because if somebody out there is considering being a home inspector, like, I don't know, set yourself aside. Have one of these. They're very, I mean, you can find them on the internet very easily. I think they sell them at Home Depot now. They didn't then, but have something like this to set yourself out from the others. Have a drone, even if it's a low-end drone at, say, $100, $150 or $200, something like that. Mine is much bigger than that. I mean, more expensive than that. So have this, have a drone, have a Felix the Cat bag of some sort, have brand new tools in there, and, you know, like, just learn about buildings. Get yourself that book, or get yourself any book on Amazon or whatever. Find out about it, and then the marketing is probably the hardest part. And make your living at that, because, you know, the tile work, yeah, it's going to pay more than, say, a home inspector. But the tile work is very, very labor intensive, and it takes its toll on you over the years. So, you know, if you consider a different career, then I would say probably pick something a little bit easier. So there you go. That's all I have to say about that. As I said, I hope this wasn't clickbait to you. No, I'm not quitting the business. No, I'm not. But I was going to at one point 9 years ago, and this is going to go back in the attic. Probably when I'm, I don't know, 60 years old or 65 or something like that, I might get into this career again, because it's, you know, it's a lot easier than what I do now, that's for sure. Oh, by the way, Patreon members, thank you very much. A lot of people have not signed up lately. Sign up on my Patreon account. I don't make anything off of YouTube, as the outro always talks about. If you want to do a one-time payment on PayPal because you want to support my channel and the content, then my PayPal email address, or my email address, is my PayPal account. There's a link at the top of my channel up on the right side as you look up there. There is a direct link for PayPal. And have a great day. Hey, if you enjoyed that video and you learned something, consider being a Patreon member. $5, $10, $15 a month would help me greatly produce more videos. I make nothing from YouTube at all. If you're going to call me for advice, please donate $50 for 30 minutes. My link to my PayPal and my Patreon account is down below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you get immediate notifications as soon as I post videos. And thank you very much for your support.